Hi everybody. Today we're going to draw a ballerina wax cap and then use coloured pencils to put some texture and some colour onto the image. I'm just going to show you a close-up of the image. I've drawn it out very loosely, just the outline, nice and simple. Okay. The ballerina wax cap is pink in colour and the cap of the wax cap splays out as it matures, which is how it got its name, because it looks like a sort of ballerina skirt. So just get yourself a piece of plain paper, cartridge paper. It can be photocopying paper if you haven't got any cartridge, and just draw out this very simple structure here, and then we're going to look about as to how to put colour on. So because we're going to use a series of pinks, we're going to use a lovely set of coloured pencils here. They're Faber-Castell coloured pencils. You can use any coloured pencils you've got. I mean, you can buy them anywhere these days, online, in shops. I've got lots that I've had given to me. So you don't necessarily have to have a huge set like I've got here, but it is useful to have some different colours available so that you've got a choice. You can mix colours, however, and I will show you how to do that. So the first thing that we need to think of is what sort of pinks we've got. So I've got a nice pink here. Okay, this is number 319. These are quite useful because they're numbered, which means you can buy them again if you like them. So I'm just going to take the pink and I'm just going to use the side. I'm going to hold my pencil along its length rather than really uptight like this, like you're writing. You want to just hold it along its length so that you're using it almost on the side. So you can see I'm using the whole length of the lead, and I'm just going to colour that in really quickly, and I'm going to do the same on both mushrooms on the caps, and we're just going to fill those surfaces in. Keep your pencil shading technique going in the same direction for now. Okay, if you can. I mean, there are edges here where you might need to sort of change the direction, but we're just blocking out those caps. So the ballerina wax cap is a very rare fungi. They do have some on the One Last Reserve at the National Botanic Gardens, and they found them just recently, so they've been working very hard to encourage more of the wax caps. The stalk itself is also a very pale pink, so we're just going to again use the side of your pencil. If you use I'm just going to turn the sheet over. If you use the top of the pencil, what happens is you end up with lines like this, and sometimes they're quite difficult to get rid of, as in to blend. Whereas if you use the side of your pencil, it's a lot softer and it will give you the chance to blend a bit more. So I'm going to use the series of pinks that I've got here. Now, what do you do if you haven't got these pinks? So if you haven't got them, what you can do is use the reds that you've got in your set. You're likely to have reds, very likely, and probably a series of reds. And what you can do is put the red down and then use a white pencil to turn it into pink. So you put the red down. I'll do a little bit of that in a minute, so I can show you how to blend colours together, just in case you don't have these shades that I've got here in my set. And we're just using the same direction mark making here with the pencil to create that softness of colour. And we're just going to look very carefully at where the shadows are falling and where the highlights are. And we're using a darker pink here. This is a number 325. And that will give us our shadows. So I'm just looking at the shadows and the darker areas of this Ballarina wax cap. And I'm just putting those in. So it's basically building up shadows and highlights. So you might find that you need to put a little bit more of this pink in, because we will have a highlight on the top of this wax cap. I've got a sort of fleshy tone here, which I'm just going to try. Okay, so use the different colours that you've got in your set and see how they work. You can always rub them out. Coloured pencil can be rubbed out. It can also be rubbed in with your finger to blend it like you would with a normal pencil. You can also use watercolour pencils. Okay, so that's how we're going to build it up. The stalk is much lighter than the cap of the Ballarina wax cap, so keep that as light as you can. If you've got a white, I've got a white, then you can see that this pink, this is my lightest pink actually. So I'm going to lighten it up by just adding some of this white. And you can see that the white will blend the pink that's already blocked in and will create a lighter tone to your work. So again, just rub that over and it will almost act like a blending tool. You can also do a curved motion like this with your pencil, and that will give you a little bit of 3D feel. So if I show you that with a darker pencil like this, so if you do a curved motion like that, then you'll get the feeling of the form coming through. In the same way that if you do a curved mark here like that, then you'll also get a little bit more of that 3D feel coming through. Okay, so keep your marks, like I said, going in one direction. However, if you want to intensify marks, then this is how you do it. So go in one direction, whatever that is. We've been currently working from top right to bottom left like this. If you want to darken it up, all you need to do is change direction, move your hand and go diagonally across those marks. This is called cross hatching. Okay, that will intensify your marks. I just want to show you how to make a pink. So I've got a dark red here. This is a number 327. So if we put the red down, this is just in case you don't have pinks. And then you add your white, and it could be any colour. It could be yellow, it could be white. Then that will eventually soften to become more pink, like with that addition of white. You can see that that's changing colour now. Okay, so you can use the pencils to blend together in the same way that if you don't have an orange, you can put some red down. Not that we're using orange today, but I'll just show you. And then add a yellow. Oh. And then you can sort of get an orange coming through. Okay, so try some different mark making, cross hatching. You can use dots, you can use heavy lines, light lines, gentle shading. Okay, so that was time-lapsed and I've pretty much done what I want to do. I've got highlights, shadows. I put a little tiny bit of blue here just to make it a little darker. I've put some blue on the stems and some grey on the stems, and I've done the curved mark making there. I've made sure that I've left light areas to catch the light. You can add darker tones in there if you want to, and I'm just taking number 372 pencil, and I'm just going to put in some foliage at the bottom. And if you work in layers, so you do some small, some large, some dark, and then take up some paler green. And again, if you haven't got different shades of green, just use one shade and then lighten it with a yellow, darken it with a blue. So you put the yellow down, let's see, so you can put the yellow down like this, and you can just build up as much grass or as little grass as you want there. So have a look out for it on the One Last estate, and it comes from late August through to early December. And I'll see you next time.